Businesses also look into digital transformation as more consumers shift to online platforms in the new normal. Stratpoint founder and executive chairman Paco Sandejas talks to us about helping companies adapt alongside today's high tech. Thank you so much for joining us, Paco. Great to see you again after so many years.
Yeah, I know. Thanks for having me.
So, Paco, share with us, how do you help businesses accelerate their digital transformation journey?
Fantastic, Rico. That's the buzzword today for us, would be digital acceleration. Everybody talks about digital transformation, but if you're just talking about it today, it's kind of like a given, right? That we have to digitize our business process, whether it's a company or a school or even the government services, to make it efficient.
All right, give us some concrete examples. I mean, you have grown by leaps and bounds over the past several years. Now you have 500 people that you manage. Give us an example of two top companies which you have helped accelerate their digital transformation and the new innovations that your group introduced to these firms.
Right, so we can't give specifics about the projects because we service companies that I guess they keep their secrets. But we provide digital acceleration services because, like we said, if you think of digital transformation, you have to keep pace and be faster than the others. So we have a couple, like, so we work with Globe Telecom and Union Bank, who are at the forefront of telecom services and financial services.
But when you say digital acceleration, what are the innovations? What are the specific services that you offer?
Okay, so one of the basics is to migrate to the cloud today. So we're premium partners of AWS or Amazon. So we're very proud of that. And it's a necessary thing to do. And then you have to introduce, like you were talking about earlier, artificial intelligence, machine learning. So you automate a lot of your processes ahead. And I think before you do all of that, though, one of the things I'm very proud that Stratpoint does is it enters into a discovery phase with its clients. So you're not just going there selling them technologies for technology's sake. We worry about what they need. You mentioned specifically
artificial intelligence and machine learning. Does it work hand in hand with your business, or is it a competitor which will eventually reduce your headcount in your workforce?
That's an interesting discussion. So people talk about ChatGPT now doing code, and there's other applications that do that. In our case, it hasn't. AI actually has accelerated our growth because everyone wants to include AI and machine learning in their business process, and they don't know how, or they might know how, but they need more engineers to do that. And so Stratpoint is there to accelerate that inclusion of AI and machine learning. So at the moment, it's increasing. I think the approach that all businesses or even digital companies like us has to take is you have to stay ahead of the curve. So ChatGPT and other AI technologies will continue to come out, but you have to continue to learn it and be ahead of the game, know how to deploy it faster than everybody else so that you can compete and get more business that way.
And what about the challenges that you face? I mean, with the internet infrastructure, the digital infrastructure here in the Philippines, is that a major challenge? And of course, when you offer your services to companies, whether it be small and medium or large companies, do they have the budget? Are they willing to jump into this digital transformation, be ahead of the game?
It's kind of the reason I wanted to share time with you today, is because they have to be. If you want to stay alive as a company or as a government service, you really have to digitize. So I'm trying to convince more people to make that investment. If you're a company, you do it or you die. We had a phrase once, AI or die, right? You got to do it. Now, what are the challenges? Like you talked about internet connectivity. Yesterday, I had a meeting with one of the government agencies, and that was the problem we were talking about. And they brought me in because we have another startup called Zepto Education, where we're trying to help our Philippine schools to take advantage of all the technology. But as you might have heard, more than 50% of the schools don't have internet connectivity.
Yes.
So what do we do with that? So we actually have to go into these special situations and understand the problem, We actually have to worry about hardware that will cache the content of the cloud and put it locally. And you have to really figure it out. There's a lot of hacking even at the business process level. It's not just about buy this software, buy that hardware, put it together. It's not like that.
Cyber hacking, cybersecurity is now
another
part
problem.
and parcel,
Yeah.
you know, of every company's budget.
Yes, yes. So people talk about DevOps. Now it's DevSecurity Ops, DevSecOps. So that's another practice that we have.
So your company, Stratpoint and Septo Education, how can you help contribute to the growth of technology professionals in the country on a wider scale?
Wow, fantastic question. Right now, you know, it's hard to find professionals. So we had to onboard 150% of our staff during the pandemic. And so Zepto Education was able to help Stratpoint by building an internal training and onboarding process. So that's why we were able to onboard these people, even if they were virtual. Now the question is, can we do that for the masses, for more IT companies in the Philippines beyond Stratpoint? Or we've been asked by some LGUs in the Philippines to help this province or that city with training their workforce so that they can get a higher paying BPO job, which is coding or IT.
How are you empowering Filipino talents to contribute and compete on the global tech space? And how are you keeping talent here? I mean, that's very important, right?
Yeah.
Because they're also looking for jobs overseas with higher pay. How do you keep them at Stratpoint and Septo Education?
It's a great one. Well, number one, I'm just really proud about the culture that we have at Stratpoint. So we're inviting you to come to the office tomorrow because we'll see how the culture is at work, how we allow workers to work in this hybrid fashion where part of the time they're at home, but part of the time they really have to be together with their teammates so that they can collaborate and get to know each other. You know how many misunderstandings you've had over text or SMS,
yes,
right?
that's right.
Too many. So, you know, in a work environment where you're intense, you gotta, you know, get together. Beyond that, I'm really proud also that, you know, the FANGs of Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Google, well, 3 out of the 5 trust Stratpoint. They work with us. So this is the way we keep talent because our engineers are able to work with the best in the world. And then also on the chip side, the top AI chip company works with us too. So our engineers get to work on some very exciting projects. And the nice thing about the pandemic is it taught us all that you actually don't need to get on an airplane and fly and work in Silicon Valley. Many of the people in Silicon Valley, my friends, have actually migrated to low tax pay areas, Miami or other places. Some are in the beaches of La Union, as you might have heard. The fintech guys are in La Union.
So Silicon Valley is now everywhere, as dispersed, even here in the Philippines.
As long as we internet connectivity. If you have no internet, patay ka.
World-class company, Stratpoint. Founder and Executive Chairman, Paco Sandejas, thank you so much for joining us on The Final Word.
Thanks for having me here.